uh, let's go to Mr. Makiadi. Mr. Makiadi, wrong time. I hope you are in a place where you can be in a position to make a submission. I know you have been listening, and especially I would like you to touch on the topic there. Raila Odinga plan to join GACHAGUA team. Do you think it would be a good idea that Raila Odinga joins GACHAGUA or remains with Ruto? This is just speculation. We are not sure. He has not pronounced himself clearly where he wants to be, but we have had people like Sifuna, Babu Owino telling him not to join William Ruto. What is your take? And also you tell us about vetting, whether it should continue or it should stop, as William Ruto said. Mr. Makiadi, if you can unmute and make your submission.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Let me say hi to all of you. Mario Mokampia, Buru, Mzalendo, Mise, and my brother Darius Sapo. You know, it's been a while. I took a sabbatical from politics a long time ago, but I was passing by and I saw you guys here. I decided to join for a minute before you wind up. Mzalendo salamu salimika sana. So let me begin. Sijui nianze na vetting because I don't think that one is very important. Refugees in Kenya have always received IDs without even vetting. In Kenya, we do not have a process that foreigners go through so that they can be pronounced as citizens. So that's neither here or there. Whatever William Ruto said is just a political statement. As a politician, you should have expected to, have William Ruto go to Northeastern and promise them something that will, endear himself to them. So that was just a political statement. And if you have traversed the country, especially in Northeastern, you'd probably understand that IDs are always for sale in Kenya. And the highest bidder, like Mzalendo, I heard you talking, the highest bidder always gets an ID. The highest bidder will always get a passport in Kenya. So we cannot say that we have a strict mechanism of vetting. That's why you see it is easy for these people to come into our country and acquire Kenyan passports and then fly to other countries. That has always been their desire, and it has succeeded so far. So William Ruto is just a political statement that came from his mouth. I don't think it has anything substantial. And I also believe that we don't have the resources to do the right vetting. Now, let's go to the topic here. Should Raila align with GACHAGUA's movement? Mburu, I'm coming back to you. There was a time we had an argument here, and I told you, and I'm still going to remind you, I told you GACHAGUA is a political lightweight. I told you GACHAGUA is a joker. I used the word villager, and you guys were so bitter with me. And that was before the impeachment. I told you GACHAGUA has no political muscle to stand on the national podium and tell anybody where the political direction of Kenya is going. People argued here. Some of them said, some of you guys said I was being tribal. Now we are fast forwarding a few months down the line, and I can see now we are coming to a conclusion whereby Raila Odinga again is the political kingmaker in Kenya right now. It is like a circus in our country. I was so happy when Raila Odinga failed to clinch the AU seat because Kenyans would have suffered. William Ruto was going to eliminate political competition in Kenya by getting rid of Raila Odinga. Now, in Swahili, they say Mungu halali. Because without Raila Odinga, and I can tell you this for free, without Raila Odinga, there is no other Kenyan politician that can scare William Ruto. Not GACHAGUA, not Eugene, not Kalonzo. Nobody has the political muscle. Nobody has the funds to scare William Ruto in a presidential campaign. Hakuna mtu akona pesa inaweza shtua Ruto upande wa campaign ya presidency. And so, when Raila Odinga failed to capture the AU seat, he had to switch to do something called a reset button, to press a reset button. Now Raila Odinga is trying to again come back to his senses and act like he used to. Mtetezi wa watu. But I think that train already left the station. Kenyans have moved past Raila Odinga. There are few people that still believe Raila Odinga is going to save them. And some others left that train a long time ago. So as I look at it, from somebody who supported Raila Odinga for the past maybe 2 decades, I can tell you for free that Raila Odinga is not going to leave Ruto alone. He is not going to let Ruto's government fail. Raila Odinga is not going to side with GACHAGUA. No Kikuyu, and I'm saying this not from a tribal lens, no Kikuyu is going to vote for Raila Odinga as president. Musidanganye Raila Odinga. Do not lie to Raila Odinga that you're going to support Raila Odinga for presidency as long as he's together with GACHAGUA. Let me tell you guys, let's be honest. Kenyans should suffer, and when I say Kenyans, I mean everybody. You know, there's something called herd mentality. I think umesikia lugha inaitwa herd mentality, Mburu, whereby the majority make a mistake and the rest of the country suffer because of the mistakes of the majority. So, hii herd mentality ndio imetufanya saa hii, Mburu, 2 years down the line, 2.5 years down the line, tumesema we are against Ruto. Na 2 years back tulisema Ruto is the best, he is God sent. Yeye ndio mtu anajua kwenda kanisa, kutoa pesa na jenga makanisa. Huyu ndio mtu ambaye alichaguliwa na Mungu kutawala Kenya. So sasa miaka 2.5 imepita, mnataka kutuambia let's abandon our course, let's abandon our vision, tuanze kupiga William Ruto. It is not going to happen. For free, it is not going to happen. Raila Odinga is going to support William Ruto mpaka 2027. Watu wengine wajipange, watafute pesa ya campaign ambayo mimi ninajua hawana. 2027, ngoja tu Mboro, ngoja nitakupatia nafasi ya kuribata. 2027, Raila Odinga is not going to run for president. I can tell you that for free. William Ruto atamenyana na hao wakina Eugene wa Malwa. Hii group yote unaona ikizurura every now and then. Atapambana nayo, and they are not going to win. I can tell you for free. And it is not going to be an election because nyinyi mnapiga hapa kelele mkisema IEBC, undeni IEBC, ati nimesikia Darius ana complain juu ya 60 billion. Hii 60 billion hakuna election inaenda kufanya in Kenya. This is going to be a rigged election. The only person that anaweza zuia William Ruto ku rig election already wako pamoja. So usifikirie kutakuwa na uchaguzi 2027. Hii yote mnaona ni hot air, na William Ruto anawaambianga yeye ameshajipanga. Mimi sasa nimeanza kuongea lugha ya William Ruto. Anasemanga mimi nilijipanga mapema, waambieni wajipange. Usione saa hii amenyamaza ufikirie hajipangi. Hata labda mzalendo atakuwa kwa ballot paper na hajui. Saa hii kwa presidential ballot paper, the ballot papers maybe have already been printed. Sasa hii nimeanza propaganda ndio usikie, because I want to encourage you to think the way other Kenyans are thinking right now. For 2027, my brother Mburu, there's not going to be an election in Kenya. Take that to the bank. Chukua ile kama uko na account ya Equity, enda weka hapo, tutakutana tuongee tena.
Makiadi, I'll need you tomorrow so that we can have a debate. I feel ngoja tu tunamalizia. Mimi sitaki kuamalizia nafasi wakati wenu. So this is what I want us to do.
Ngoja sijamaliza, namalizia point yangu Mburu. Please, ngoja tu kidogo, dakika 2. Hiyo nimeongea. So hii maneno ya should Raila align with GACHAGUA. GACHAGUA does not have a movement to begin with. These are just noise makers. These are bitter people who are dethroned. I can tell you for free, today, Mboro, kama Gachagua angekuwa deputy president, hii vitu naita movement ungeona. Whatever Gachagua is doing is out of bitterness of being dethroned. Na hii bitterness hakuna kiti itampatia. As I finish, nyinyi mnalaumu Raila Odinga ya kwamba ametupa Wakenya. Raila Odinga is also a political businessman. He knows where to eat from. If the government can take care of him, imlinde vizuri, impatie cheska, impatie allowance, ipeleke timu yake AU plus MPs kumsupport, aone ni kama akona some kind of power. He is comfortable. The problem with Kenya is, and not Kenya, African countries, ni kwamba the moment you go against the regime of the day, na hiyo regime ikuwekee majembe chini, vile Gachagua anawekewa majembe chini, your life becomes very, very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. And this is what Gachagua is passing through right now. Wakati Gachagua alikuwa anaenda anakaa kwa ofisi saa 11 asubuhi, wakati wa maandamano, anakaa na polisi akituambia mujaribu kutoka nje mtaona. Hakuwa anajua siku moja the same sword itakuja kumkata. So right now
mapema kufanya job.
Hakuna kazi alikuwa anaenda. Mtu ni nani anaendaga kazi kupigiwa simu akipigwa picha? Nipige kapicha kamoja hapa kama naongea na simu. So acha nimalize niseme namna hii. Saa hizi ile kitu inaendelea saa hii, Gachagua cannot be the messiah that we are waiting for. The only thing that we are looking at right now is the reincarnation. Iko jina inakuanga hapo, reincarnation. Iko jina hapo nimesa siwezi itamka vizuri. Reincarnation of political what orphans. Sorry to use that word. The likes of Kalonzo, Eugene, and the rest. And these people are not going to save our country, and they are not going to dethrone William Ruto. Take that to the bank. The final statement that I want to say here. I think democracy is not a good thing. Democracy might not be the best form of government for us Africans. Because democracy is where fools come together and vote for one of them. And that is also what is happening in the US. You know, a majority of fools elect one of them. And then when that fool starts doing things that hurt them, they start blaming others. They cry. And that is what we are going through right now in Kenya. So maybe we should pivot away from democracy and think about negotiated democracy, whereby even if I did not vote for you, I still have a seat at the table to make decisions. When decisions are being made, I can also be consulted and give my view, even though or maybe it will not be effective or it will not be followed. At least I have spoken and somebody knows what I feel like. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Makiadi. You are making us feel like we are starting the show, whereas we are supposed to be heading the show. Please be here tomorrow. We're going to have a 1 minute break. Then when we come back, we are going to give our closing remarks of 1 minute each. Then we're going to meet here tomorrow. Yes, our viewers, this is Africa24. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to make any comment, just feel free to do it on the comment section. And anytime you want to join us, we always put down the link on the comment section. So this time we are going to end the show with closing remarks, starting with Muzarendo, Mise, Darius, and finally, Mr. Makiadi. Muzarendo.
You know, nice to see Makiadi after a long time taking a sabbatical after what happened to his political leader. Now we are in this situation, and I like the way we all seem to be confused, even not knowing what to follow or who to follow in this political discourse. Now, everybody who is saying that it is okay for William Ruto to continue doing what he wants to do with the government, I tell you, it is not okay, because we have lost so many lives, and if he continues doing that, then so many people will die. But one thing I agree with Makiadi is that we need to think of another form of rule or leadership in Africa, and especially in Kenya. I don't think democracy is working for us. Democracy is not working for Kenya, and the best form of a leadership that can be in Kenya is that we divide the country into the traditional provinces that used to be there. Then we ensure that these political big figures, these tribal leaders, be governors of provinces, like we have here in the US. Like, a big man, Kalonzo, will be in charge of Eastern. We don't really care what he does with Eastern. Then we have Nyanza being in charge with Raila Odinga. We don't care. Coastal region, they can come with whatever leader that they want to come up with. And so on. When we have that kind, maybe we'll have sanity. When we do that, we can have sanity in our politics. But without that, then maybe communism can be a form of rule that can really help Kenya, because what our leaders do is not anything different from North Korea or in Russia. This is a country where you hear that the head of the military has crashed with a plane, and we move on. Life inaendelea tu. People have been killed, over 90, 70 people, and we move on. We come here on air, we talk about it like it is a way of life. In the village where I come, a politician kills a supporter, and it is okay. We move on with it. Somebody picks up a gun, shoots, kills people. We are okay with it, so long as they are a politician. But another thing, lastly, Mburu,
yes,
there is this class battle that William Ruto had introduced. He introduced it in a clever way, that Mama Mboga coming onto the table. Makiadi, what you will witness in 2027 is something that you've not seen before. That is why William Ruto is using all his resources to ensure that Raila Odinga is on his side. The elections that are coming in 2027 is not the election that you see on a daily basis on each and every 5 years. This will be a bit different. It will be more informative, new players in the game, as in terms of voters. We are talking about adding about 20 million plus voters into the system, plus those who are going to be issued with those IDs and all that. So the stakes are very high in this election. And saying that there's nobody who can marshal Raila Odinga in terms of, coming up with the campaign funds. I think the business community, we know the tribe that they come from. They will do what is necessary to marshal up a campaign and to oil their campaign effectively. So 2027, my worry is the guy who is going to be the IBC commission chair, the guy who is going to take after Chebukati. We have seen the trend. If it is you, Jeffrey Mburu, we know that the elections are going to be stolen. If you are going to be compromised, then you'll end up dying. There is no shortcut about it.
No, they should. I think they should try me.
No.
The only problem is that I'm not a lawyer. I have what it takes.
Mise is given the job, or Darius, my friend, or Makiadi. You know me, and I'm here to in advance. Let me just send you my contribution while you're still alive. That ndio pesa yangu ya machanga nimekutumia.
Can you conclude so that we go to Mise?
Hii ni pesa yangu ya matanga nimekutumia. Wewe utakufa tu. Asante sana bwana.
Mise, can you give us your final remarks? Unmute yourself. You are still muted.
Uko mute, mise. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I think it was not unmuting for some reason. Now, I just wanted to say that no one can post William Ruto is other than Raila Amolo Odinga is the very statement my brother Makiadi used by saying that it's the hard mentality that we have, the hard stand that we have, the brainwash that we have, that only Raila Amolo Odinga is the liberation, is the hope of liberation in Kenya. No, we have young people who are capable, that are actually people like Raila Amolo Odinga are afraid of. They are not supporting them. And anytime they make a move to be able to go to another level, they get their efforts are suppressed. I just want to say that we want to do away. And one thing I totally agree with you, Makiadi, is that Raila is a conman. Raila is opportunistic. He's a businessman. He sees an opportunity and takes advantage of it. And therefore, there is nothing that is going to gain if Simbaneta, if you can mute your mic, it brings an echo.
It's muted.
Okay. So, yeah, thank you. So I don't think that Raila Amolo Odinga, the teams that are coming, they don't have nothing to give Raila Amolo Odinga. Raila Amolo Odinga is an expensive